Hello, everyone.
It's
Frierenkvetching.
Frierenkvetching hours.
Yeah,
Um,
this episode was fine.
yeah, I mean, once again, we have an episode that's split quite neatly into two separate halves. So, for our first half, we're approaching a hot springs town. We get out there, find out that there's not a hot spring, and then one of the locals is like, "Oh, well, there is a hot spring in the mountains." Um,
Yeah,
and Freerun doesn't want to go because she's been there before. But Stark got told about it by, guy whose name I forgot.
the
Um,
dwarf, Ison?
yeah,
Ison, I think is
Eisen,
his
that's
name?
Eisen. Yeah,
Yeah.
Eisen. Um, he told Stark about it, said that it was kind of stupid and bad, and the ridiculous journey there is like such a treasure to him. So Stark wants to do it as well, and they go there, and it's too shallow. It's just a foot bath, um, and then they take in the view. Um,
End of
and
segment.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, like it wasn't amazing, but I'll more or less go to bat for this part of the thing because it's just an excuse to have two montage sequences, some nice music,
Yeah,
nice backgrounds, and nobody does anything like stupid or horrible or racially motivated.
it's
It's less that this is incredible or good or anything, and more that like I like this more than the rest of Free Run
yeah.
by
No, that's definitely
a
understandable.
handy amount.
The thing that gets me about and I've tried to like check myself for it of like how much of me not liking this in the show at this point is influenced by my opinions on the rest of the show, and I think probably a decent amount of it. But i
Yeah.
i, I tried, like, as we were watching, I'm trying to like decontextualize a little bit, like what if this is just some other show and these are some other characters, and I'm a little bit like, even then, I like, again, it was fine, but you know, as you say, the opening section, the first half of the episode is kind of just a couple of montages and some very brief flashbacks, because God, does this show love its flashbacks?
Yeah.
Of like,
There's a flashback that's like 2 seconds long.
there is, yes, a very brief one, which is kind of funny, but just like, it felt very paint by numbers. I don't know. Like it, which is definitely better than what last week was, don't get me wrong. But I mean, I kind of had the same problem with the Crystals episode, where it was just like, I don't know, like we need to get the characters from place to place, and this is the adventure of the week, and it's fine in concept, but I don't know, it just felt a bit uninspired. But then the second half of the episode happens, and Josh, you have the floor for describing the second half of the episode again, as usual.
I mean, it's just like they reached their hot springs town. Freyren gets her tits out, goes in the hot spring.
You didn't
Um,
need to put it like that.
yeah. So Stark and Farron are a bit bored. Farron in particular. Stark is like, oh, I might go to like a weapon shop or something. And then Farron is like, but then I'll have nothing to do. And as she says, pay attention to me. Which I kind of like, because usually she just fucking pouts like a stupid idiot
Yeah,
fucking pouting.
character development, everybody.
Yeah, yeah. No, I would rather her
uh,
say outright, pay
yeah,
attention to me, than
like
let a fucking pound pout.
I'm saying it in a jokey tone, but I guess that is character development, like,
Yep.
objectively. But
Now
continue. Yeah.
after Farron makes that bratty request, Stark is like, I'm gonna tease her. I was like, yeah, well then let's go on a date tomorrow. Um, Now, as we know, in fucking Japan, going on a date isn't quite as, like, necessarily always like a romantic thing, but also in the context of this show, these two characters are a permanent will they won't they thing, so,
Yeah.
like Fern like agrees, and so the rest of the episode is just both of them being nervous about it.
Yep.
They also each ask Frieran for advice, and Frieran does not give good advice.
Yeah,
Because Frieran, you
I made the crack during the episode. I'm gonna make it now. The best advice that the 400-year-old virgin can offer. Like I don't know. It's just like
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
somebody who actually thinks that lack of experience in romantic or sexual ventures is a shameful thing, but uh, like her advice is supposed to be bad. I'm actually not criticizing the show here for once. It's just like, wow, she has very little idea what she's talking about.
Yeah. No,
the thing that really gets me is we don't even get to the actual date this episode.
Yeah, no, this is a two-parter.
Yeah, I guess so.
Although we had the first part of the episode.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird structure. I
mean, to be fair, we got to our next hot spring turn in that regard. Like, yeah,
the epic hot spring two-parter. Yeah. But
yeah.
I don't know. Not to fucking armchair direct, but if it's me doing this adaptation, we leave the whole bit with the mountain spring out of the adaptation, and we just adapt the whole date thing in one episode. But whatever. What do I know?
No, that's fair. I like the first half, so I'm not hugely upset about this.
Fair enough, I guess. Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, okay? I'm not off the train that Farron and Sark is like a compat thing. But also it kind of is. Like, they don't actually have a lot of chemistry.
Here's the thing. There's that one episode in the first season where they do, there's like Stark is involved in this whole fucking convoluted Prince and the Pauper situation.
Yeah.
And they dance. And that scene is really nice.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think if that scene is your conception of Stark x Fern as like a ship, you're probably pretty happy about this development. I don't really care that much about either character, so it's a little hard for me to get there is all.
I don't care that much about either character, and I feel like the show, in its writing of Farron and Stark, 99.9% of the time, it is more interested in doing Farron does something annoying, and Stark has to be like, the poor cringed up little puppy.
There's a bit in here where he has a thought bubble, and the thought bubble is just Chibi Fern, like, listlessly whacking Chibi Stark on the head.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that being your relationship with somebody?
Yeah. No, in that regard, I'm not. The thing is, next week we'll watch their date. It'll probably be like decently sweet,
Maybe
because when it wants to be sweet with them, it usually does like an okay job. But yeah, like how much are we gonna care when? Again, the rest of their screen time is just that scene with the the listlessly whacking, as it were.
Yeah, it's something that bothers me in general about Frieren, and before we started recording, we were like, what if this just turns into a general Frieren bitching session? Which it might, because we're not even 10 minutes in, and I've already kind of run out of things to say about the episode in particular, but we'll try to tie it back, I promise. Like, one of the things that sort of bothers me about this show overall is that I feel like Frieren is kind of three characters in a trench coat, and Stark and Fern are like maybe 1/5 of a character each. They're very, very broadly written, which you can get away with if you're shonen action adventure thing is honest about being a shonen action adventure thing, and also has like decent writing in some other area. Um, Frieren, by nature of the whole pretense of like pretending to be like a contemplative and slow, like Yashike series, really, at least if I'm the one being asked, really puts on display how thin most of these characters are. Like, it is clear that they had one idea, and the idea was the title character, and everything else just doesn't really work together as much. Like, Fern's traits as relayed to us in this episode are what is, because there's this bit where, as you mentioned, Stark is asking Frieren for advice, and Frieren reminisces, as she is wont to do, about talking to Hater, the priest, about Fern. And the traits that Hater lists in that flashback are like, well, she likes cute things and she eats a lot, and I think that's literally it.
Yeah.
Like, I think those are the two personality traits he ascribes to Fern, which is honestly like even like a little unfair. The show's like being weirdly unfair to itself, because there's like a little more to her than that. There is a single cut in here where she actually makes like a dramatic facial expression for maybe the first time in the whole fucking show.
Feels like it.
It's just, if you want to do like a super close reading, you can pretty easily, I think, argue that she's kind of emotionally repressed.
Oh, I mean, she clearly is. That's the text.
That's fair, but
even as a child who's emotionally repressed, that is actually the text. I will fully give them credit for that part.
Yeah,
as much credit
I guess that's fair. But like, we're going back to the whole like war orphan thing that they touch on every now and again, and it's just like, I don't know, like it's not a bad idea for a character, but I would like them to have done something more with it by this point. And I mean, maybe we'll get our big character development moment next week. Who can say? But it does feel very thin on the ground with that whole kind of thing. And I mean, Stark is even less of a character. Like, what are Stark's personality traits?
Don't make me do this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I know he's your guy, but like, tell me a thing about Stark that's not like literally just his backstory, or the fact that he's the one who's not a wizard.
Look, don't make me do this. Look. Shut up, okay? Leave my guy alone.
You could have said that he loves fishing.
He does love fishing, but he didn't fish this episode. He was implied.
Yeah, the fishing took place off screen, which is truly unforgivable.
Here's the thing, viewers. I made a real rule that I will hold myself to, where every time per episode Stark is shown fishing on screen, I will give the show 1 point. They didn't do it this week, so the show is only a 2 out of 10 for me right now.
It's very serious. But I don't know.
Score every season of Frierenkvetching the same number as the season of the show.
Yeah, there you go. By season 5, you'll. I don't even want to think about
season 10. Holy!
I don't even want to think about the possibility of the show lasting 5 fucking seasons. We're like not even a third of the way through the second, and it feels like it's run out of plot already. Which I know that's just because we're like between 2 major story arcs, but like,
God, my thing is that the show at the start, before it had story arcs, was like okay, and its first fucking story arc was Aura, which was dog shit, and then we killed a bit of time here and there, and it was like okay for a little bit. And then we got the tuning exams, and it was awful. So
I guess where I'm at, actually,
I'll probably be kind of okay with
to try to articulate
the fucking El Dorito.
Yeah,
I'll hate it probably.
Nice one, Josh. To try to articulate a little bit better, like, I think the fact that the story arcs are around the corner, and I know that they are, kind of dampens the like low tempo parts of the show. this is setting aside the fact that I do just think the second season is kind of an overall, like, downgrade in terms of, like, polish. Like, not that it looks bad by any means. A lot of shows would kill to look this good. But season 1, if nothing else, was consistently very nice to look at. Season 2 is mostly still nice to look at, but, like, it's just, like, a little... It's hard to...
Peaks aren't quite as big.
Yeah, there's just, like, a little bit of something that's not there. This is especially obvious with the montages, which just feel way less special, like, than they did in the first season. That bit, it's a really simple scene, but that bit in the first season, with them, like, floating all the vegetables through the air, has really stuck with me for some reason. That's, like, my favorite part of Frieren, I guess. Is the bit where they're floating all the pumpkins and whatnot into the sky to help that random old lady. And I don't know, because in this episode, in the first bit, we get the, ooh, look, they're exploring the wilderness. Don't you love this stuff, right? This is why you rate Frieren 10 out of 10 on my anime list, and you say it's the best show of all time. This stuff right here. The Yashike, the nature power stuff. And it's like, okay, but I know, because I have seen the rest of this show, and because I have spoken to people who've read the manga, that this isn't actually what you're interested in. Like, you're gonna bring the whole we gotta kill the demon stuff back around. I know you are. So it feels like again, where I'm often at with this show is like, why the pretense? I don't know. I guess that's kind of unfair in some ways, because, like, it's not like an anime or any work of art is, like, obligated to, like, pick a lane, you know what I mean? But I feel, as I have often said, that the two halves of Frieren work against each other very well. Like they are at odds. It's very strange. It's an odd show.
No, that's fair. I'm I'm less down on the montages.
Yeah.
Like, not especially down on this episode, but it was one where, you know.
If I'm rating it in a vacuum, it's like on par with the Crystal episode, I guess. Maybe a little worse. I don't know.
Somewhere around there. It's, you know, given how much last episode actively, like, frustrated us.
Yeah. You know,
I kind of find having a boring episode.
Yeah, that's valid. Me too.
But, you know.
The other thing that was on my mind was I'm going to be annoying again and refer you all listeners to my review of the first season if you haven't read it. My whole three elves theory bit. Because I feel like this is the first time we've seen Frieren's like, quote unquote smug side yet this season. You know, the magician, the one where they really play up that she's like a very wizardly wizard, and she's got all this, you know, haughtiness and playful nature to her. And it's interesting because on its own, like, I like that kind of character. What?
I just was like, oh yeah, the tantrum.
Yeah, like, on its own, I can definitely get down with that kind of character, but again, with Frieren the character, as with Frieren the show, there's, like, these elements that work against each other. Because it's like, she can't both be a font of earthly wisdom and also be giving, like, bad dating advice. Like, I don't know.
I think the character can be both of those things. I just don't think this is an interesting execution. Or fun.
Fair. Yeah, okay, fair.
Is, like, you know, worth it here.
It's just... And
I am a gap mowing major.
Yeah, it's just like... Partly because I think, again, like, one of my other pet theories with this show, with the whole originally supposed to be a one-shot thing, I feel like the actual character is the one who's very like stoic and somber, and the other stuff was added on later, and it
Oh, that's fair.
feels very grafted on.
For what it's worth, like to approach the show on its own terms for a minute, all of Freeren's worldly knowledge that she is a font of comes from Himmel. Likewise, her dating advice comes from Himmel. And Himmel clearly was not much of,
Himmel is
an
such a
active love
nothing
life
character,
because
man.
he was into Frieren.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, no, Himmel's boring as shit. Say the
it
line you said at the end, so bad.
I yeah, okay, I mean I said something to the effect of Himmel is like the least character in a show where most of the characters aren't like
Yeah.
just we're dealing with fractions for the most part, and Buddy's coming up at like a 1/16th or something. Um,
To be fair, if the show. God, here's an idea to posit.
okay, yeah, sure, shoot.
The show, or rather, Himmel only exists in memories. Um, which,
That's fair.
in a,
Yeah,
in a sense, is why he's, like, softened to the point of nothing. Because,
I
Frieren only
like that
remembers the
idea.
good parts.
I
Yeah.
genuinely like that idea. I
Because
if we
what I
yeah
was about
yeah
to
of
say,
course yeah
I think Frieren without flashbacks would be a much stronger show. Don't show us those flashbacks. Have Frieren reminisce without showing us, the viewer, something.
yeah
It would be a case of show, don't tell in the opposite direction, but it would
yeah.
be more effective, to be fair, because it leaves it to the viewer's
I
imagination.
I
You know?
even think that like even with the structure it does have, right? You can. I'm trying to think if there's anything that invalidates this, and I don't think there is. You could make the argument we are only ever seeing Frieren, or sorry, we are only ever seeing Himmel through Frieren's memory. So maybe she's just forgotten all of the complicated and thorny parts of the man, and just kind of reduced him to this vague, all-loving hero in her memory. Which I mean, even that's kind of wishy-washy. Yeah, there's some stuff where you can be like, yeah, but there's the one flashback where he
Like,
talks about a dungeon in the first season. But okay, ignoring the weird parts.
I don't think we are supposed to think that, like,
No, I don't think so either, but it's
yeah.
like an interesting counter reading to the show. Maybe we are, and you and I are gonna feel very stupid at the end of the season where they're like, surprise, he was actually a terrible person, or whatever the fuck, right?
I mean, that would be cool.
It would be a fucking twist for sure. I don't think that will happen.
No,
I would put
to
it
be
in
frank,
the.
if it did happen, Freerun fans would be so fucking pissed off.
Oh my god. You want to talk about comp head. The way people ship Himmel and Frieren as though they are like the romance of the century, when one of them is a complete nothing of a character and the other one has like undiagnosed DID. I am a system, I can say this joke. Uh, just it's bonkers. I don't know what you people see in this ship. I'm sorry. Like Stark and Fern, I at least kind of get it because they seem to like each other in like the broad sense.
Yeah.
But Frieren and Himmel is absolutely just not anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
Is that it? Like I feel like there must be something we're forgetting.
there barely is. Like I think I'm done.
Yeah, I guess so. The only thing I was gonna say to loop back to the start of this tangent about Frieren, Frieren the Mage, quote unquote, in this
Yeah.
episode is like, I like characters like that sometimes, but it's such a weird fit for who Frieren is. Not just in this episode, but in like the whole show, that it feels kind of incongruous with a lot of the ways that they try to present her. Which in of itself, I mean, like you said, it can be like a gap moe kind of thing, but I don't think it actually works in the case of Freerun specifically.
Yeah.
She mostly just comes across as kind of weird. Like, I don't know. It's not like a strong criticism, but yeah, she just comes off as kind of a strange person. At best, kind of a strange person.
No, that's fair. That's I think that's all I've got.
Honestly. Yeah.
Like, congratulations, Freeran. You put out another episode.
It was definitely an episode. Hey, this is the first one of these we've recorded that's actually shorter than the episode we're talking about, I think.
Nice.
It's at least... it might be a little bit
unless
over,
we,
but...
take that long to, like, close out the episode.
Yeah, we could. Josh, what's your favorite kind of bread?
So anyway,
really sideline... Really got you with that one, huh? I just thought of a stupid question.
Honest, I had to think, and I was thinking for long enough till I was like, no, I can't do this right now. We need to wrap up the
pumpernickel, honestly. Obviously. Anyway, whatever. Subscribe
or...
What did we say last week?
Well, it was about the... Last week it was subscriber will delete all the fan porn from existence.
No, that's good. We should keep that one.
Yeah. Well, subscriber will delete all the Ubel armpit porn from existence.
Now that's scary. Good night, everybody.
Penis.